saw down on the field before the game. No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. Now it's Duke Johnson here on the return. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. First NFL carry for the rookie from Georgia, Nick Chubb. And now running right through him. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Lucky 56.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. The former first-round pick, Shea McClellan, in on the stop. They go play action. Mayfield. And that is incomplete. The veteran Morgan Burnett there on the coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 34. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man is Switzer, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the 1st.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 4th down, here comes a Steeler punter, Jordan Berry, to kick it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. The Browns heading out on offense, Charles, and everybody knows the story. It's been 10 straight years of losing seasons, 0-16 last year. But it feels like there is some optimism. Is it warranted?
It'll be warranted if they can translate all the optimism, the draft choices, the free agent pickups, the molding of the team into winning a game and then turning it into at least a modest winning streak. They have a great opportunity here in the opener against the Pittsburgh Steelers, their hated rival. That will make everyone feel better, not just the organization, but all the fans that surround them.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Takes to midfield, but no further, just a yard there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To the right side and complete to Njoku. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 22. Baker Mayfield, obviously the #1 pick overall. That was controversial, though. What ultimately made the Browns go in his way?
Well, post-draft, I did hear a Browns executive talk about the efficacy of Baker Mayfield. In other words, how people rally to him, how people respond to him. He talked about seeing him at a workout, how he showed up, yelled out to the other guys. They yelled back with the same response, ran right to him, and they were ready to start the workout. He said things like that and his talent tipped the balance in his favor to go #1.
Mayfield off the play fake, rolling to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future All-Pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff. I'm not sure we can spot any tendency here on this.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And then look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. Look at how early in the game this occurs. They block and kick. And not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now Roethlisberger. Now big hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
As they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at about the 32. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
That's on the guard, Kevin Zeitler, first-round pick back in 2012. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, Mayfield dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd down, Mayfield steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Pardon, it was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
Flushed out right. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They're indeed going. It's Mayfield. Wide open receiver complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Fourth down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
The Browns opted not to pick a running back with their first 2 selections at number 1 and 4 in the first round. But they circled back in the second round and got a really good one to Nick Chubb out of Georgia. Broke off a nice run there, and that's where he's good. Good vision, able to see where the hole is, and make nothing.
It's the first NFL touchdown pass for the first pick in last year's draft, Baker Mayfield, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
Well, you would think that if you threw 119 touchdown passes in your time at Oklahoma, another one might be routine. But not when it's your first one in the NFL. Welcome to the league, Baker Mayfield. And look out, NFL defenses.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you can kind of circle a guy around, and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, what they have to do when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
False start, offense.
They get the tackle, Marcus Gilbert, second-round pick back in 2011 out of Florida. A bad false start penalty there, now 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in Week 1. So do not press that skip button. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would.
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cody Sensabaugh. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. That kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A screen to Bell. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On second down, Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds. Seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And Boswell's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Here's Roethlisberger, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he finds McDonald. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Joe Schobert leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
On third down, Roethlisberger. Past the 20. He'll get this one to Switzer. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop it, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. All 9 points for them coming via the field goal, and this last one puts them out in front.
All the field goals are great, but you know I'm going to get pessimistic here, right? Because you've got to score touchdowns to win games in the NFL. I just wonder if all these field goals, great now, I wonder if they'll come back and haunt them later on.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On second down, Johnson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. Mayfield now. Screen play, Johnson. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one...
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. To throw, Mayfield. Now they go screen. It's complete. The broken tackle, but couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Mayfield. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Now Mayfield. And no, it's incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And McDonald here over the middle. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And he is out of bounds here. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I's, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before. Getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the T as well. That was excellent footwork to get in bounds and make a great catch. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go.
Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that will push the lead up to 12-7. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that,
It's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Chubb on the counter, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Back to throw. Being chased out left. A bullet throw, but incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get a bit.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. T.J. Watt in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
Again, it's Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. On 3rd down, here's Bell. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. He got 29 yards that time. They'll look to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost him.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves them out there with another chance.
The Browns' passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down.
No, check, Patriots!
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the fly over the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season, we get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Pittsburgh, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll return home next week to